Have you ever done anything risky just to feel cool and be part of a cool gang? Like riding a bus or a train without a ticket, going to a nearby canteen and not paying for what you ate. Well, it sounds like good fun there, but some, especially, tend to take it a bit too far, and that could cost them their lives. I've always had mixed emotions when it came to death penalty for trafficking of drugs. I agree it is harmful to the society, because the irony is that the main person behind the operation or the mastermind never gets caught. The so-called offender convicted by law is mostly a victim of either poverty, threat, or manipulation. We have some well-known names in Sri Lanka, like Kanjipane Imran, Marusira, Kuduchuti, and Markandara Matush. Who even comes up with these names? Some of them are alive and some dead. Now, in Sri Lanka, capital punishment is legal. However, there has been no execution since 1976. Having said how it works in Sri Lanka, not all countries are lenient when it comes to drug trafficking. One such country is Indonesia. So these two guys I'm going to talk about, called Mayuran Sukumaran and Andrew Chan, got caught in the wrong country, and this was their fate. These guys, they planned a heroin smuggling operation back in 2005. As a result, they were charged for drug trafficking and they were sentenced to death by the firing squad. But they were executed by the firing squad only on the 29th of April 2015 at 12:35 a.m. after a decade. 10 years is a long time. Are you the same person you were a decade ago? I'm sure we could collectively say no. We have changed. We have had different life experiences that has made us into different people now. These two guys were only 21 and 24. Andrew was 21 and Mayuran was 24 when they committed the crime. But when they were executed, they were 31 and 34. The governor of the prison, he said that these two were model prisoners and should not be executed because while the governments were trying to sort things out, these two had made major difference within the prison. Mayuran, he had even got a fine arts degree and he started selling his painting to raise funds. Andrew, on the other hand, he was leading the English church service and started following theology courses. I'm not saying what they did doesn't deserve punishment. Of course it does. But the whole point of punishment is rehabilitation. And when you know one has rehabilitated, what's the whole point in killing them when they could have contributed to the society? But of course, now thinking about it, now we have a story to tell the young generation what their fate could be when they get into the wrong circles in lives. But still, just imagine the emotional trauma the parents and their loved ones are going through because of this whole thing. And that is saddening. So out of the Bali 9, because they were called the Bali 9 because 9 people were involved in this unsuccessful smuggling operation of heroin. They were trying to import heroin from Indonesia to Australia, but it didn't work out. Only these two were given death penalty. Even on the day of the execution in 2015, it is said that there were 6 more prisoners with them who had to face the same fate that night, or rather that morning. And these two being so influential, they made everyone to sing together. So the group of 8, they sang Amazing Grace and 10,000 Reasons just before they were executed, and they even refused to be blindfolded because they wanted to look into the eyes of their shooter. This is just one story of two young men who made the wrong choice when they were young, and it cost them their lives. As I told, the sad truth is the masterminds behind these operations was probably not found. Or maybe they knew who the mastermind is. It's just that they're at unreachable places where you can't easily get to them. So to you kids who are watching this, all I have to say is, few $1,000s isn't worth your life, is it? Take note.